Tax Talk is all about tax money and tax matters, which of course brings about massive infrastructural development, like you see here in this best practice video taken from another country that has got its citizens to be aware of their own responsibilities when it comes to paying their fair share of lawful revenues into government coffers. The taxes you pay will develop your country, like you see here. High rise buildings, modernization of your cities and your communities, with people being, of course, provided all the awareness entitled to them having paid their own fair share of lawful revenues demanded by the government. This is the call by the leader of Liberia and, of course, tax administrators in Liberia. Domestic resource mobilization to bring about best practices, like you see here in this video. With that, we see the LRA bus reaching out to every community with her way of creating tax awareness as well as giving back to communities that are in need through the corporate social arrangements.
It's the dream of the Liberia Revenue Authority to impact the young society.
That is good. So the girls more than the boys now. Yes. That's time for the girls.
The NV Massaquoi Elementary and Junior High School here in West Point, of course, Monrovia, the Liberian capital, receives a consignment of school supplies from the Liberia Revenue Authority. This is just one of many efforts by the LRA under the auspices of Commissioner General and CEO Elfrida Stewart Tamba to reach out and extend its corporate social responsibility to everybody, including this school. Today, it's this NV Massaquoi. Tomorrow, it may be another school, and the process begins now. This is Tax Talk. Tax Talk is about tax money and tax matters. It is on LNTV every Monday and on Fridays. My name is Elvin Jask. Thanks so much, and you are welcome.
Devietta and Derek of the Taxpayer Services Division of the LRA discussing tax money and tax matters with featured taxpayers on the campus of the NV Massaquoi School in West Point, Monrovia.
We make a big amount they call revenue collected.
Tax money and tax matters may not be the only responsibility of the Liberia Revenue Authority. This is government's hub, the main nerve center when it comes to administering revenues and taxes in the country, Liberia. The background here today is more like a different setting, a community that is impacting education. And this part of the entire event by the LRA is that corporate social responsibility. This has been manifested today with the presentation of assorted educational materials.
So from the Liberia Revenue Authority, I'm the Commissioner General, Elfrida Stewart Tamba, and we are to identify with the 6th grade class of this school. We selected this school to identify and to share with you under our corporate social responsibility program. We normally have and share with different sectors to target the most needed schools and we did a survey, and from this survey, it was revealed that this school is, and the students here are students that in need and that we could identify with. So we are here today to provide small items for you. We brought copybooks, we brought pencils, crayons, and erasers. Also for the school, we brought paper. Okay, that is for the school itself. But for the students, we brought the copybook, we brought pencils, we brought crayons, and we brought erasers. Tomorrow, one of you could be where I am today. So continue to be serious, and when you are serious, the sky sometimes is the limit, because you can achieve anything if you empower yourself with knowledge. What Liberian man say, the woman no book or the man no book. So continue to be serious in school, respect your teachers, respect authority, so that tomorrow you become a better person in life. So these are the items. At the LRA, we are working for you all. We are the one who collect the revenue. We collect the taxes. So, and the work the government do to pay the teachers, to repair the road, pay the police, to pay the army, we collect that money at the LRA. And we collect the money so that the government is able to provide the needed public services to its citizens. Without the collection of revenue, there can be no development. So we are here again to sensitize you also as to how you could be a better citizen. All over the world, it is the national duty of all citizens who are qualified and capture under their own tax law to pay taxes to the government. And the taxes we collect, it is for the national good. The more we can collect for the government, the more the government will be able to do for you all. And you all want more things in your school? Yes! A school like this, it should be painted, it should have computers, because you go to other countries, that is what people have now. Okay? Students at your level, they have computers. That was that key learning tool today in the developed world, and even in some of our own developing countries. So the more we can do at the LRA, the more we can collect, the better it will be for the citizens or the country. So thank you. Continue to work hard, to be serious, so that tomorrow, by the grace of God and a little bit of luck, we'll have a better future. Thank you.
The NV Massacre Elementary and Junior High School, known for its role as a major center for affected persons and victims of the deadly Ebola virus, is located in the densely populated town of West Point in Monrovia. It has strong academic administrators like Mr. Farasin Samuel, who was on hand to thank the LRA delegation for the academic and educational materials, having received them from the Commissioner General of Frida, Stuart Tamba.
Well, I take this opportunity to express thanks and appreciation on behalf of the principal, the entire NV Massacre Elementary and Junior High School, family, to show appreciation, to thank you very much for This that wonderful that they brought to the school, even though for special class.
Yeah.
But we have a hope. From one thing comes another. From this, we have other classes where we are going to benefit the future and the entire school. From this that I've done now, it really shows a sign of your kindness and remembering the school as every up, give you in mind and wishing for the better future. Because I know when you're like this, before and you listen to the parents, the teachers, and the school, and you are in position to do it. And I'm very glad you are here to be able to advise them and to talk to them also. Not only to present this gift, but to tell them also. So some of what you have said to them, most of them will take it and put it to use. Now they also pray that they will become just like you.
VPA Farazin Samuel, with words of gratitude and thank, told the LRA delegation for having presented educational materials to the 6th grade class of the NV Massaquoi Elementary and Junior High School.
This program is under the auspices of one specific division, section at the Liberia Revenue Authority, located way over there at the LY Junction. Derek Yuma is the guy in charge. He was part of the entire arrangement. Let me begin by asking him what are some of the prior arrangements done before they came here and what is in the pipeline for all the schools. Having heard from the Commissioner General, Frida Stewart Tamba.
We are so glad that finally we are here. It's the dream of the Liberia Revenue Authority to impact the young society because we are pushing to foster a culture that is voluntarily tax compliant. And we believe in molding the minds of the will-be taxpayers, the younger generation. So this is not a surprise. There will be more to come as we look forward to supporting the education sector in Liberia as a part of our corporate social responsibility strategy. It was not an easy thing getting all of these schools together to even at least identify these schools or identify those classes that are supposed to benefit from this project, looking at our financial constraints and all of that, the project. But as God to have it, we are here today to do the very first distribution and we look forward to expanding across the country.
Thank you so much. You've got a presentation from the Liberia Revenue Authority. Let me ask you, what do you know about tax and what does it do for you?
Oh, well, when we talk about tax is something that's really where government is a route for government to make most of the expenses. That's why we have an income and expenditure. Through tax payment, the various where government able to make its obligation making expenses down to I was standing here. My pay payment from our government and our employees and everything. Tax payment will really cover many areas. That's a bottom facts.
Thank you so much. The VPA, Vice Principal for Administration, right? And then he's Mr. Farazin Samuel. Thank you. I will talk to one of the instructors again. The VP. Okay, tell me your name and your position.
Machi Young, Acting Vice Principal for Instruction.
Okay. Instruction, are you teaching your kids tax? Anything about tax and the benefits?
Actually, that has not really reached to their level because it's a junior high school.
Okay.
So we have not really dealt with that.
Okay. Derek, the guy in charge of the TPSD, Taxpayer Services Division, they got a STEP program, which is the school tax education program. And they're targeting kids from ABC all the way to university, talk about tax. So if it brought some program for you to work with them to begin to impact tax and its importance to students from any level, will you be willing to do that?
Yeah. We highly appreciate that. If they come, we appreciate that because we believe that students at that level, if they are able to get the information, and by the time they can reach to a higher level, they will have already known those things and they will be in the position to apply them in their daily life. So we highly welcome such tax education program by LRA.
Talk about tax. What do you know about tax in general?
Well, our living understanding tax of our nation itself as the nation building arm of the country.
Okay.
So I think that's the LRA is in a position to serve as a nation building arm.
So what could you say to everybody that lives in Liberia, including foreigners, residents, and the citizens, in paying their taxes? Because I know you get paid from the taxes the LRA collects, right? So what could you say to them? What could be a message?
Well, it's simple because a country that pays tax, the tax is used mainly for the building process of that country, to pay civil servant and other benefit of the country. So I think it's necessary as a citizen of the country, you should be a good taxpayer for the improvement of your country.
Thank you so much.
But I'm Roland Salif, and I'm an instructor at the NV Massacre Institution. And what I know about tax is that it's a revenue collected and I use for the purpose of development in the nation. And every citizen has the responsibility to pay tax. And it is true that government use those funds to take care of the basic needs of the citizens and the nation in general.
So what do you know tax has done for the NV Massacre School where you work?
Well, tax has done a lot. First thing, the very materials that we use to teach the children is from the tax-based collection. Like we use the whiteboard, we use marker, the whiteboard marker. We use the stationery to run our tests and quizzes.
The building itself.
The painting of the buildings and the renovations and the list goes on. So there are a lot of things that tax is doing for the institution in general.
Thank you so much.
Tax Talk is about tax money and tax matters, which of course concerns the provision of basic services to the people that pay their taxes. With this, the LRA in recent time provided these educational materials to 6th graders of the NV Massacre Elementary and Junior High School in West Point. As young as the students of the NV Massacre School may be, they themselves are somehow concerned and do have some ideas about taxes and the benefits that come with it. And we happen to get a word or two from some of them.
Otis Cooper, you know anything about tax? The taxes people pay? Have you heard about it before?
Yes, more.
Idea. Okay, tell me a little idea you know about taxes.
Idea is that people pay tax for the developing of the country, for us, for all incoming generation.
Okay.
For example, NV Massacre.
Okay.
People renovate the brain who, for example, your brain post for all of that is a tax paying by your collaborate as when it comes to us. That is my idea.
So when you begin to work, you pay your taxes too?
Yes.
You're not cheat government?
No.
So what you tell your friends, your students, if they begin to earn income?
Tell them that paying tax is the right thing in the country because that brings development. Development is the process by which a citizen that is happy with their country, that is saying our country is the best country because we all pay tax, we're not acting corruption or asking the government why we are paying tax because the government know their reason.
Thank you so much. Otis.
My name is student Rebecca M. Kobai from the 9th class.
Okay. Tell me a little thing you know about tax and the benefits and what does it do?
The little idea that I know about tax. Pay tax for the government to provide so many things for all. Through our tax, the government pay or hospital in the community. Through ties, the government provide or hand pump, and through ties, through ties we get government school, through people in the school, in our school, example like Massacre. Through our ties, we get some reading books, some PET share, we get small idea, we pay ties to get foreign in the nation, and we pay ties to get the market building.
Thank you so much. What's your name again?
Student record in college. What I know is how the government pay people, the government pay the school. The school was not paid, so the government paid, so want to pay the people. I think the government will see. Thank you.
Very much. What about you?
For me, when we talk about tax, I think that, for example, my mother not working, my mother get money to pay tax. Then my papa working, get money to pay tax. So I want to tell my other friends all day that they should please be careful with their school business. Serious.
My fellow friends, I'm going to tell them say they don't pay tax because tax is good for the school, the country, and our students. Some people is not get money to pay school fees, so please help us. They want to teach them to pay tax. Our parents want to pay tax. Thank you.
Sixth graders expressing their own thought about tax. The information is pretty blunt with respect to what they need. People should pay the taxes so they can go to school. And that's the message, right?
Yes.
So when they pay the taxes, then there'll be school buildings, right?
Yes.
Then there'll be good paved roads, and then when people come, they'll meet good schools and buildings, right?
Yes.
That's the message you guys are giving. And you're from the sixth grade, right?
Yes.
You're clap for your center. Debater Kekura, you've been on the TPS own programming to educate people. You heard the children, and so to speak, students talk about taxes. What did you learn from them? What could you say about what they said?
Well, I'm very excited to see students, especially from the government institution, talking about taxes. And that shows that they actually have an idea, so they'll be able to carry the message and also educate their friends, their families on the essence or the importance.
The MV Massacre School, with all the students in the back expressing thoughts, happiness about taxes as the days, weeks, months, and years come and go. This is about Liberia. The taxes you pay will build Mama Liberia like the MV Massacre School. From where we've been today with this special edition of Tax Talk, which is about tax money and tax matters. TPSD, CMPA, both of the LRA have been behind this production. I'm Alvin Jask, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I just wanna let you know about the Bureau Revenue Authority. If you wanna be free, just like me, come join me and pay your tax. The revenue law, LRO, Bureau Revenue Authority is here for everyone. Hello, I'm talking to you. I just wanna let you know about the Bureau Revenue Authority. If you wanna be free, just like me, come join me and pay your tax. The revenue law, LRO, Bureau Revenue Authority is here for everyone. Hello, I'm talking to you. The Bureau Revenue Authority. If you wanna be free, just like me, come join me and pay your tax. The revenue law, LRO, Bureau Revenue Authority is here for everyone. Hello, I'm talking to you. Know about the Bureau Revenue Authority.